Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe, presented by M&M Septic Services. This is a production of the American All-Star Series. I'm joined tonight with the CEO of the American All-Star Series, as well as my co-host, Joseph Rush. Joe, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great, Allie. Here at our the new home location, the home base for the Off the Dirt on my end, Beckley Speedway. Excited to be here tonight, and episode 16. We've been around for a couple months now, so that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. So this is episode 16 called the Keyholder, and we'll be joined with somebody who holds a key tonight for segment one. But remember that we are streaming live on all of our social media accounts, as well as my Facebook account, Joseph's personal one, our series page, our Off the Dirt page, as well as Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. And don't forget to check out CrateRacing.com for all of your American All-Star Series information.
That's right. CrateRacing.com has all the most up-to-date information. The series schedule, which is now complete. Those TBAs have been filled in, Allie. How great is that to see? Something we've wanted to do for a long time. And as we continue working and things, we're just 2 weeks from our next event. But before we really get into our next event and our last event, why don't we bring in tonight's guest?
Well, do you want to talk about Firefly first?
Oh,
considering segment one, yeah.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay.
I'm ahead of myself.
So segment one is usually brought to you guys by Firefly, so they are back. But Firefly is a unique high-burn token that rewards long-term holders with a team of dedicated developers and an engaged community. It's also a token you can feel good about investing in. Each transfer or sale incurs a 15% burn rate, 5% of which goes directly to charitable causes. For us at Firefly, the primary cause we support is the conservation of fireflies. The global population is approaching extinction, and with your support, we hope to reverse that trend. Joe, before we move on to our special guest, how's the token doing?
Yeah, the token's doing great. Allie, it's continuing to grow. The more people that buy in, the bigger it grows, obviously. So we want to see more and more people invest and continue to grow Firefly because it's such a great app.
Yes. I missed out what you said, but I'm assuming you talked about Racetrack Connection.
Oh, no, Racetrack Connection, that's where we need to
go. You said app, and I didn't hear what you said because it's the internet. But yeah, Racetrack Connection, it is out for all platforms for racers and fans, so make sure you're going to download that so we can get that head start on the new social media for racing in general.
Yeah, that's right. Ricky Green uses the app, loves it. He was our special guest host last week when you were out. We need to get more and more people hooked up. I'm sure that they'll be using it here at Beckley. A lot of people will access it here, hopefully, and of course on American All-Star Series tour as well. So, Allie, it's a great app. Sherman's with us until through October as a sponsor of the Off the Dirt. So we appreciate Sherman and what he's doing. And just like you shared there, Tyler Blankenship is using the app and really excited about it.
Yes, and so speaking of all of our partners for segment one, let's go ahead and bring in our special guest for tonight. We're finally having him on the show, Randy Kinder from Beckley Motor Speedway. He finally owns the track.
Yes.
How are you doing, Randy?
We're doing good. We've been out here for since last Wednesday, I guess it was, and from 7 in the morning to 11:30 at night, and we've just been working. Just so many people there's just so many I need to thank. That it's just unbelievable, the people that's shown up and worked, and we have brought just from under the bleachers. I mean, I don't want to start on a bad note or anything, but just under the bleachers itself, these 55-gallon trash bags. We brought 92 55-gallon trash bags of trash from under the bleachers. Not to mention the food and the stuff. And all we've been doing is cleaning dumpster loads. We've worked on the track. The track it's still got some work, but we are getting there, and it looks 1,000 times better. It had a bunch of ruts in it and grass growing, and it was tough. But we got the best in the business, and I just feel so honored to have this position, to be able to serve the fans and serve the racers, because that's what we're going to do. We're here to serve the community and put on a great show and treat people with respect, and have the fans come out and have a happy place to be, a safe, comfortable, clean, happy place to be. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, that's awesome, Randy. You know, I've been here and been a part of this for the past 3 days, 4 days now, I think. 14-hour days from volunteers and from yourself and Ryan Williams. Just so many great people out there that have been a part of this and want to see Beckley Motor Speedway be great again, like you keep advertising.
Yeah. The work is just unbelievable. I mean, and we've got a lot to do. The updates that we're doing, we are going to build a tech shed just as you exit the track. It's going to be 30 wide by 60 long, brand new concrete LED lights. We're going to have the scale house inside there where you drive up, and we're going to have room to tech the cars and store some equipment. Today, Mike Lilly Fencing, if you talk to Shane or Yvonne, Mike Lilly Fencing in Beckley, these people are they're fantastic people. They came out, gave us a great estimate on putting a new catch fence in. So turns 1 and 2, we're going to put an 8-foot high catch fence with a 3-foot overhang. And what that'll allow us to do, guys, is to be able to take about another 15 to 20 yards past the guardrail. There's these telephone poles with the fence now. We're going to take that down. That's going to enlarge our pit area. Today that we purchased 2 really, really large buildings. I'm talking to the ones that are familiar with pits now, where the concessions and the bathrooms are now. We've obtained a really good excavator from Boyd Equipment there in Beckley, and a cat dealer. And there's another one that I cannot even express the gratitude that I have for these people. But we're going to knock some buildings down and replace them. We got new roofs coming. What am I missing, Joe?
You know, just all the work that you've done as far as the equipment. You got here, the equipment was in disrepair, and you've worked with a lot of great mechanics that worked their tail off. Got the air conditioner working in the tower, so we're comfortable tonight. And you got a bunch of new radios and stuff coming too, because you didn't have any of that when you took over.
Well, when we showed up, everything was gone, and that's just, it is what it is. And the timing system, the PA system, parts of it were missing. All the radios, we purchased 20 new radios and headsets. No transponders; those are gone. So we turned on the water, and it flooded everything. Pipes were not connected, let's say, and it was a lot. The bleachers, we ordered wood for the bleachers. There's a lot of places that we need to replace. We will working on guardrails. As far as the equipment, yeah, I mean, it's out there. The batteries were gone. There's no batteries. The grader now, it was kind of our fault. The grader would work and it would stop once it got heated up. And we really thought it was a transmission problem. But then we got the filters and we started cutting those off. You couldn't turn them off, but we got them off, and they were just so clogged and dirty that hadn't been changed forever. We put a new filter on, ran for a while, and then it clogged that one on our third filter. And then we figured out that, and this is where it's our fault. We did it. And so on these things, you got to have these things running when you check them. So we were a little bit low on oil. And once we got the filter changed and did the maintenance and topped everything off, and drained the crankcase, it was full of diesel fuel. So we pulled the dipstick and it was just to the top. We drained that, changed filters, fuel filters, and got all that squared away, and it's running really good. but I've been blessed by another grader. I thought that one was going to be in disrepair. And Bobby Rogers, which he won 3 straight championships here, I think 2006, 7, 8. That's close. I really got to give a shout out to him. He called and offered a really, really great deal on a nice grader. It's got air conditioning. I mean, it's nice. And my guy doing the track prep, and he's a happy camper. Are we froze?
No, I got you.
Sorry, yeah, you were froze for a second.
Well, Randy, talk about your plans for Beckley Motor Speedway, your schedule this season. It's very ambitious. You've got 3 huge American All-Star Series races plus the weekly championship at the end of the year, which is another big event. But just talk a little bit about your schedule, your plans for the fans to make it a great experience for them, and some of your big events.
Yeah, I mean, we do have 3 races with you. That's not our only 3 races that I'm going to run, which that rumor was out there. We're going to put it into that right now. We got such a late start. This deal was actually done and signed last September, and it just took us a while to get the deal closed, and it was beyond our control. We did the very best we could. I knew it would end up this way. There was no doubt in my mind. I got to get a real thank you to David Abrams in Beckley, the very best attorney that you will ever meet. So thank you, David. But as far as the schedule goes, next weekend, April 30th, we have practice. It's going to be our first practice. May 7th is going to be the second practice, and we're scheduled to have our first race May 14th. And we got a lot of work to do to get there, but there's nothing that can happen, I don't believe, that is going to stop us from getting to where we need to be and making Beckley great again. We got a couple of big races with you, or 3, and then the Beckley USA 100 is going to be Monday, July 4th, and that's 2 days right after your Friday race. So we're going to be racing your series on Friday, and then Monday have the greatest show on earth. And it's always been the best racing here at Beckley.
It absolutely has. And I'm sorry, go ahead, Allie.
Sorry. No, you go ahead. I have a question for him, so go ahead.
I was just going to say, and really you're planning your grand opening to be the Super Late Model Show on Monday, May 30th. I think that's right. It's Memorial Day, May 30th. I'm pretty sure it's the right date on that. So we're going to run a couple small shows, kind of get our feet wet, let everybody in the tower and all the new people learn their concession jobs and things. Got some great help lined up, Randy. But really looking at that 7,500 to win Monday, May 30th, Memorial Day is your grand opening, right?
Yeah, it is. And that last year's race here, when they had that 75, and it was one of the best races I've ever seen in my life. The track is going to be, I've got one of the best guys in the world doing this, and we appreciate them. So we're looking at some other seating arrangements. Like I said, this was done last year, September, and we had hoped to have all this already finished through the winter, but it just didn't turn out that way. And so just bear with us. Like I said, we're here to serve you and have a place that you can go and bring your family and have some entertainment. And another thing that is a must for me is by moving, and this helps too, by moving the scales from the center of the track on the outside, it helps the show go faster. And there's not going to be any more of this 20, 30 minutes in between races. That's our goal. That's what we strive for. We're going to have the nights where we have rain delays and just something weird happens. But always remember, we're for the fans. We're here to serve you. We want you to come out and just have a good time and get home at a decent hour. So if you need to go to church in the morning and do your things on Sunday, you're not here at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one thing that Brian Davis just asked, get them out early for the work the next day on those Monday races. And that's absolutely the plan.
Yes.
But my question for you was going to be, like, we have a lot of viewers right now. Maybe some of them haven't been to Beckley Motor Speedway. So, Joe, maybe you could chime in on this, but tell us a little bit about the racing that happens at Beckley. I mean, I've been to races there, and it's some of the best races that the American All-Stars put on. So tell us a little bit about the track and the racing that it shows.
Is that for me or Joe?
Both of you.
Well, it's a 3/8 mile. It's high banked. It's a very, very fast. It's a 3-groove track. And some of these tracks, you get there and they get in line and they follow each other. I'm telling you, Beckley is not like that. These supermodel guys, they're against the guardrail. I love to watch Benji Hicks here at Beckley. This guy knocks down the guardrail, his right rear off of his car every race, and he never lifts. He's just on it, and they just put on a great show from top to bottom. It's a great place for 3 wide, and I know a lot of people say that, but if you haven't been to Beckley and experienced it and what it means, there's not a bad seat in the house either. And that's another thing I love about the stands here. You can sit anywhere and see everything. So, Joe, what you got?
Well, I will share this story on Randy. He tells it, and it makes me laugh every time he tells it. But he actually sat on the pole of a heat race of one of our very first event ever here, and he tells a story about how Matt Long just left him. Randy ended up in the B-Main that night, but he was a B-Main bandit before we even had B-Main bandits.
That was embarrassing. I told Matt, I said, Matt, you're much better than I am at this nonsense. So when they say green, 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 you count to 3, and then we'll both go. And but he smoked me. I mean, he had me the first turn, and I never saw him again. I went straight to the back. So I don't know what happened that night. I've enjoyed my racing career. I've raced accident cars for 35 years. And I found myself, I bought a modified off of Eric Wells Motorsports in Kentucky. And I found myself, and this is how I got into this deal, I found myself finishing 4th, 5th, 7th. And I'm like, gosh, it didn't bother me anymore. And I was tired. Sunday mornings, I was sore, and I didn't want to go out and wash the car, but I did anyway. Then I got a phone call sometime about a year ago, or not even that, 8 months ago, by the owner here that owned it at the time. And he said, you should buy Beckley. You need to buy Beckley. And he said he wanted to spend time with his parents. And I thought that was great. And I said, well, name the price, what you want for it. And he named it. And I said, I'll take it. And I went and got David Abrams to draw up the papers, and we came over, we signed, shook hands, took pictures, and then 3 days later, it went south from there. But truth always comes out, but we've got great plans, and we've got some plans now. And I'm talking to Joe that we just haven't announced yet, because we want to get everything before. I don't want to say things that are not done yet. That's why I wasn't on Facebook for the last 7 months talking about things, because I knew what was coming, and it was tough for the fans. I kept getting messages, and it was hard on me, and it was hard on the people that were waiting for this day. But I do have the keys.
All right. So Tyler Blankenship asked me who my favorite street stock driver who ever raced at Beckley is, and I guess I'm supposed to say Tyler. Tyler did get a crate car a few years ago, and I talked him into going to racing on the track. And this was before I had the series. And Tyler's always been a buddy of mine. I've always just made friends with all the racers, or done my best to. Not everybody likes me, but I try my best. And a couple of years ago, Tyler, I talked him into going to racing a race, and he ended up breaking his wrist. So I feel like Tyler probably got mad at me that night, but sometimes things happen, unfortunately. Bo Thompson commenting on here. He was just here. He brought you a sponsorship check, your first sponsorship check.
Yeah, I got my first sponsorship check, and I both put that deal together. and it's awesome. And it was for $75 for some free tickets. We're going to give some free admission tickets along as we go. But Joe and Allie, the thing that I really wanted to say as far as like the officials and employees in the concession stands, the ticket booth, we're moving some ticket booths to make it faster. And that's something we can touch base on. But anybody that is an employee here, you will be will treat the fans and treat each other with the utmost respect. There's not going to be any of the down talking, the yelling at you. I mean, I'm just not going to put up with that. It's going to be a happy place to work. But we're going to get there. And the people that Joe and everybody and Jesse, which is Joseph's wife, man, I can't do it without them. There's no price to put on what they've done for Beckley. And I think, Joe, your grandfather used to score or flag and here, right? Is that right?
Yeah, that's one place I was going to go with Allie's question was, this place it's my home track. I started here when I was working in 2004, which I would have been 14 years old when I started here. I had to get some help from Pat Goddard to help me figure that out. But yeah. my grandpa worked here for over 40 years. If you've been to the track, the track used to be on the inside of the infield lights. So that was the whole shape of the Speedway. It was on the inside of the infield lights, and the flag stand was on the back stretch. What's the back stretch now? And he used to always just tell me those stories. I've seen pictures of him when he was scoring right behind where the flag stand currently is, just on a board with a table, him and 3 other scorers. And he always told a story about how one time a car flipped and rubbed across the bottom of his foot when it went by. Wow. So, just a lot of history here for me personally. Like I said, I got my start here back in 2004 working in racing. And I love the place, love the facility, and I'm glad to see somebody that really wants to take care of the place, take it over, take ownership, and move in the right direction.
Well, the place is, when we first looked at it, I mean, Beckley's tired. It's been here 63 years, 64 years. And we're going to put back into it. And just some of the stories that I hear. I was in North Carolina at a track, and I always say North Carolina. It was a Smoky Speedway with Smoky Mountain with Casey and Roger Sellers, and great people. There's somebody that I'm really pulling some information off of. But stories that I hear about Beckley, I heard a really quick story about a guy told me when he was a little boy that his dad paid him 25 cents a day to carry block from the top of the hill down for the stands here. And I thought, man, that's just so cool.
Yeah, so many great stories. Everybody in the community, everybody's come out here and told stories about this place since we've been out here the past 3 or 4 days. But you do have a full hookup campground here, Randy. So if for these bigger shows, especially my race on Friday, also a race on Monday, people could spend some time in the area that weekend. You've got that available for drivers and fans.
Yeah, and it's 127, I believe, spots, electric, sewer. I mean, we've got all the hookups, water, and that's another plan that we have that we're working on. We're going to be planting grass, trees, walkways, some benches. We have some of the best sunsets here that you'll ever see, right over the mountain there. And there's a pond. We're thinking and planning putting a gazebo where people can come and sit and enjoy the evenings and watch the sunset and just relax and have a nice time here. But as far as the racers, if you ever wanted to come down on a Friday and watch the race on Saturday and see the happenings, and please feel free, just message the page. Our Facebook page now is still Beckley Motorsports Park. Facebook has oddities there about switching names. You have to wait so many days, but that's going to change. We've got our logo up. That's our new logo for Beckley Motor Speedway, and I think Thursday we can change it, I believe. And so go to Facebook, like the page. That's right now we're working on the website, and we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful website. But the Facebook page now is where we're giving updates. You can see videos of the track, what's going on. We do lives or do tapes, and then we show you what we're doing. So if you're interested, definitely do that and see what's happening.
Absolutely. Well, and somebody asked if Travis Surratt's going to be the announcer. Yes, he's going to be the announcer. Cover that question there real quick. Well, Randy, before we let you go and we go on with the show tonight, you got anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good. I mean, just be patient with us. You'll see. I hope you see some difference. I've been here. I mean, I am sunburnt. Everybody's sunburnt, but we're not complaining. I feel like all the work we're doing so far has been behind the scenes. It's definitely been under the bleachers and in the kitchens and the restaurant over there, the bathrooms. This is another thing that is critical to me. You can't have these bathrooms so bad that nobody will come back. So we're actually going to have a full-time employee race night, go from bathroom to bathroom. That's all we're going to do. We'll make sure things are clean. If you do come and you have a question or a problem, please approach one of the staff people, and you'll be treated with respect. And if there's something I can do or something we can do to serve you, that's what we're going to do. That's my logic. I actually live in Virginia and have a furniture store there, and the customer comes first, and that's the way we're going to do it here. We're going to have a great time. I had hoped once again, and I'll be quiet. Me be quiet. That's not going to happen. Fix things up as we go, and I hope people can see the progress.
All right, Randy, I appreciate you. You know, you talk about tough for you to be quiet. I've been joking with you about locking you in your office on race night from the outside and put you on your own radio channel.
Allie, they keep telling me they're going to lock me in this office. And before it didn't have air conditioning. Air conditioning's fixed. So even when the scores and announcers and people, you're not going to be sitting in a 90 degrees dust bowl here. We're going to make it nice for even our employees, because we're going to treat them with respect. But Allie, you're being quiet. You got anything? What are you thinking?
Nothing. It keeps skipping, so I can't barely hear you guys sometimes. So I don't know when you're talking or when you're not. Sorry.
Guys, thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate Allie, and Allie was part of the beginning, doing the rules, and we put it out there. We keep people updated on Facebook. She's helped us with that. We've met in restaurants and Waffle Houses and omelet shops all through Virginia and West Virginia, and spent hours and hours going over this stuff. And Allie, I miss you. Thank you for what you've done, and I appreciate you, and I wish you the very best. And you know you're always welcome here, and you'll be back.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys helping me, and then I'm always willing to help you guys if you need it. So.
All right, Randy, we appreciate you being on tonight. We'll be seeing you soon. I'm going to keep using your tower and finish up tonight's episode.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I see you right there.
All right. Well, none of this would be possible without our title sponsor, PPM Racing Products. So here's a quick word from them.
When you start with the strongest American steel, apply the smartest techniques, let artesian quality craftsmen do the work. What you end up with is just built better than anything else you can get.
Welcome back to Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe, presented by M&M Septic Services. We just met with the new owner of Beckley Motor Speedway, Randy Kinder, and we are officially done with our TVAs. So they're all filled in on our schedule, so you can check that out on all of our social media platforms. But first, let's talk about Racetrack Connection, the new app for racers and fans.
Yeah, you know, we had a really good comment earlier, Allie, from Tyler Blankenship. I'm trying to find it. Just talking about the app and how great it is. It's such a good app. You know, people use it. And there are a lot of, if we can get more and more drivers using it, it'll be great for the fans on race night, Allie.
Yeah, and it's going to be absolutely awesome to see what Racetrack Nation does for fans and driving. It is the social media, so it's practically the Facebook platform for all of racing.
Yeah, you can buy stuff, you can sell stuff, you can look for sponsors. There's so much that you can do on Racetrack Connection. And Allie, I do apologize about the internet tonight and the glitches, but next week Randy's going to have the best internet they offer here. So one day, actually it'll be tomorrow. So Allie, we had Lake Cumberland and we had a great guest fill in your place the other night, Bob. We had Joe and Bob on. And he actually texted me this morning. So before we talk about Lake Cumberland recap, he had a good time doing the show, no doubt. Bob did, and he actually texted me earlier and he said, "Joe and Bob tonight?" ? So I did let him know that Allie was back.
Yeah, and now I'm making special appearances on the show with Allie's name first.
That's right. I mean, I think Bob had decided last week we're just going to do Joe and co-host. That's what we would call it.
So I've been kicked out of my own show.
Yeah, he's kicked you out of your own show. Look, there you go.
Here, just send Bob an invite in.
Need to send Bob an invite.
Off the dirt with Allie, Joe, and Bob.
Allie, Joe, and Bob. That'd be great. I'm sure we would all be
No, you got to put an and between them all. Allie and Joe and Bob.
Yes, there we go. So,
yeah, I hate I had to miss 6 last weekend, but I decided to go to Leeds McRae College and get our softball team. We got our butts handed to us. So, yeah.
So wasn't a good night for you?
No, and it was freezing.
Yeah, it was freezing early part of last week, but of course when we got out here to the track, it was like 90 degrees. So,
wow.
All right. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That. Wow.
Yeah, wow. That's your little brother Bo. Brother Bo there, the tire whisperer.
Little bro Bo.
But Bo's been a great hand. I didn't even know Bo was going to work for us this season until about a week before the season started, and he's been a great help already. I'm trying to talk him into taking May 7th off and making sure he's at Wartburg with us. But we're going to talk about Wartburg in the last segment. Let's talk about your experience at Lake Cumberland Speedway, Brandon Hardgrove's track. I really enjoyed it. The racing there was great, and just give me some insight on it and what you thought of the racing there at Lake Cumberland and the facility and everything about it.
Lake Cumberland was awesome. We got there, and I was not supposed to be doing anything but PR work and social media work, and then we were trying to get the guys down in the chute. Well, we tried to get them on the track and get them lined up for qualifying, and then I'm just going to say, sending those cars out in order. Every car was in order, and every car was sent out on the time they were supposed to be sent out. And that's because of me. I made that qualifying chute my own, and I handled it like a champ.
You did, and it seemed like you had a lot of fun doing that job because you're the do-it-all. Said, I got to get you trained on tech. I've asked your boyfriend, Kendall, to help me with that. But, that's the one thing that you haven't done yet. But you did a lot of new things at Lake Cumberland for this season. Bo was there.
Bo was there, but was the cars in order when they came to you? No.
So Bo was slacking, is what you're saying.
Yes, Bo was slacking.
So,
but he did help. He got them all down to me, and I just sent them out in order. So he did help me.
Beckley announcer Travis Surratt did fill in at the chute last year one time. He did a good job at Willard. Willard's pretty easy though because it's just they cross a little bridge and they go on the track. So
yeah.
Willard has got one of the most unique pit setups there is. Dave Haggerty says that every time he sees you that you're doing an excellent job. So, you moved into your new role that I put you in a little bit this year and got the social media going during race night. How was that at Lake Cumberland? It seemed like the way the pits were laid out, it probably made it pretty easy because all the crates were on the outside pit area. So it should have made your life pretty easy there.
Yeah, it was good. I did some interviews with some guys before the racing started, before Hot Laps started, and then once stuff started, it got crazy. I had my cameraman with me, so either Jesse or Bo was with me before Nikki started getting her stuff done after she got done with the kids in the pits. Pretty much all the posts and stuff, we got all that stuff done. We got it all posted, and I was trying to interview everybody that won anything at the race. So if they want to be main, the heats, the fast dash, the fast time award, and the feature, obviously. So it was really hectic to try to go around all the drivers and get a quick interview while they're trying to work on their cars and while they're trying to do everything that they need to do on race night without me being annoying and a bother to them while they're trying to do their jobs. But all of them gave me a pretty good interview, and we got a crap ton of followers this weekend and a crap ton of likes and a crap ton of views. So.
That's right. One thing that I saw, and I maybe froze up talking to myself, was there were some really good interviews. It's telling me Allie, we've lost Allie, so hopefully she can get back in here and be back on the show. I think that it's probably on her end. It says that I'm here, so looks like we got Allie back. All right, Allie, welcome back. You're not even at school, and you disconnected.
I know. Well, what was the last thing you heard?
You were talking about most people interviewed. Most people you interviewed were very receiving and receptive of it. Thank you, Jimmy Dale, for the kind words. But interview of the night. Of course, I love Steve Pedens because he pumped up my ego. So appreciate Steve Peden. I never met him before last weekend. Just a really nice guy. But his actually got called by Blue Ridge. I've had a couple people ask about. So, Steve, if you're watching, Rusty, if you're still here tonight, Blue Ridge called me, and the fuel samples are done, and she will be sending me the tire samples either late tonight or in the morning. So, be looking for those results to be posted. Looks like fuel samples were all good when she called. So, we should have our tire results back. I don't expect anything bad. So, should have those samples and things back. We've sampled Rusty Webb's cars 900 times, and they're always good. So hopefully we see another, positive result. I'm sure we will. But should have those results tomorrow, and then I'll get those checks in the mail for you guys. But Bo said it was a Joe show while you were gone. So, and Dave Haggerty from Dave Haggerty Photography. So. Looks like Allie's having some connection issues here tonight. Can you hear me, Allie?
Yeah, now I can.
All right. So
it was you, and now I think it's me.
So you keep freezing up tonight, so I don't know what you got going on there, but
you're freezing up.
So Zach Seiss, I think, had the best interview at Lake Cumberland.
Okay, so are you frozen again?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay. You were like a statue.
I was just telling you that I think Zach Seiss had the best interview.
Yeah. Yeah, he was not happy that he didn't qualify well. And so he definitely let people know that in his Heat 3 interview. I said, how do you feel about your winning Heat 3 and what's your strategy going to the feature? And he was like, yeah, I sucked at qualifying like we have all year. Blah, 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 blah. Suck. And I was like, well, Zach, you could have had a little bit more like energy, enthusiasm about being here, but and then I got tired of interviewing Hayden Cardwell. He won the fast dash, and I didn't even go interview him because I was like, if he wins a feature, then that's 5 times in one night that I've interviewed him. So
yes,
I just started. Me and Nikki just started going in Hayden's trailer and just doing his interviews in there because we were like, there's no sense in us staying out here for every time. So we just went this a holler into the
there you
interviews.
Go. So Michael Boggs is here tonight too.
We
got all the photographers out. Like Tara was here, Dave Haggerty, Michael Boggs. Let's see if we can't get a record for a number of photographers watching with us tonight. The racing, though, at Lake Cumberland, I thought was phenomenal, Allie. As you're froze up again, I hate that Allie's having connection issues tonight. But as we look back at Lake Cumberland, the racing was phenomenal. Hayden got out front and really raced very well. But Allie, I think, if you look from second on back, it was really good race at Lake Cumberland.
It really was. We got had a crazy pile up there in the middle of the race, and that's one of the things that I asked the leaders, like Steve Peden and Hayden Cardwell, and even Zach. I didn't ask him that because I didn't feel like going back up to him after his enthusiastic Heat 3 win. I was like, how important do you think it was to get out in the front of the feature without getting in the back and getting caught up in all those cautions and restarts? And so I think they all did a great job putting on a show at Lake Cumberland, and it was a great show to watch and a great show to film and then get some views on TikTok too.
Yeah, can't wait to go back in June. Got Hal Furrow here, so we got some announcers. We got a club of officials tonight with us, but I think that the racing was phenomenal. Can't wait to go back in June for Ponderosa and Lake Cumberland, 2 5,000 win shows. That's going to be phenomenal. That's big money on the line that weekend for racers, good purses throughout the field. So that'll be a great weekend at Lake Cumberland Speedway. Allie, what do you say we take a break, come back and talk about
The next one.
The Berg.
The Berg. All right, so none of this would be possible without our title sponsor, PPM Racing Products. So here's a quick word from them.
When you start with the strongest American steel, apply the smartest techniques. Let artesian quality craftsmen do the work. What you end up with is just built better than anything else you can get.
Welcome back to Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe, presented by M&M Septic Services. This is a production of the American All-Star Series, and we have talked about Lake Cumberland, my experience at Lake Cumberland, and now we get to talk about the Berg, Wartburg Speedway on May 7th, our next race.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we have more people talking about our segment sponsors, Racetrack Connection. The goal is great service there, so no excuse not to sign up for Racetrack Connection, no matter who your carrier is. Great app, fans, drivers, you can communicate, and I'm hoping that we can see Racetrack Connection up and running sooner than later, and we'll be there, and it'll be great, Allie.
I'm not sure if I've lost Joe or not.
I can hear you now, Allie.
If it's not me, then I feel like we're just sitting here.
All right, Allie, we're back.
Did you go too?
Yeah, I went too.
Maybe it's something with StreamYard too, because I have full internet right now.
Yeah, me too. So who knows what it is? But Wartburg Speedway.
Yeah.
May 7th, All-Star Wars. So I told last week the story about how we started the name of All-Star Wars, and it fell on May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Bob thought that was hilarious. But All-Star Wars has turned into a great name for that race there because you never know who's going to win. The battle is real. It's phenomenal racing. And, Allie, they're going to be up on the wheels, elbows up. And it's hard to say who might find their way to victory lane at Wartburg.
Yeah, and then talking to Hayden Cardwell so much last weekend, I really think he is on the up this year, and it's honestly interesting to see. And then Wartburg's one of his favorite tracks and ones that he runs a lot, and he ran a lot as a sportsman driver or a 602 driver. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can go and get his third American All-Star win. And it's also going to be interesting to see all these short track drivers that love the short track racing come and try to take that All-Star Wars title.
Yeah, I think he'll be a threat to watch. I think the Seiss brothers are a threat to watch anywhere we go. There at the hometown, we might see Anthony White show up. I'm not sure if Anthony's racing any this year. I've not really seen his name in a lot of results yet. But Anthony White could show up. He could be a local that would be a threat. Jason Cardwell, of course, is another threat there. Track he races at a lot. I think we'll watch for him to be up front. I think Stephen Padola, he took a week off. He'll be back in the house with us. Jordan Hedger should be there. So a lot of really great competitors. Jason Welshon, he made a comment. There was some extracurricular activities that took place at Wartburg this past week, Allie. And Jason made the comment about something along the lines of, what did he say? He said something along the lines, I can't wait to get to the American All-Star Series race at Wartburg Speedway.
I didn't hear anything you just said.
Oh, well, I don't know whose end it was on. You froze up. It seems like StreamYard might be having some issues tonight because we both have great internet connection right now, and we're having issues. But, Allie, what do you think? We had the big one at Wartburg last year, too, about half the field in a pileup. That was before your first race with the series. But what do you think? What's your thoughts on All-Star Wars besides Hayden being strong there?
I've only been to Wartburg once, but I think Wartburg, it's just like you said, it's elbows up. They're making moves. They're trying their hardest to get up to the front of the field, and it puts on some really good racing and some different lines that drivers can run. And it's going to be really interesting to see, especially with it being in East Tennessee. It's going to be interesting to see all those drivers that come from East Tennessee racing at a track before and come for the title, because I think it's going to be a great weekend, because I don't think anybody else is running on May 7th. So it's going to be awesome to see all the competition we bring on May 7th.
Yeah, I agree. There was a race that was scheduled on top of us. Thankfully, that's not happening now. And it should be a really great weekend and a great race. So can't wait to get there. Wartburg Speedway, May 7th, 2022. Less than 2 weeks out. All-Star Wars. Looking forward to it. So let's hear a word from our sponsors. Looks like we're having some connectivity issues again. I'm just going to throw up our sponsors, and then we'll come back for bloopers, which we have a lot of tonight.
I got Welcome back to Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe. Hopefully you guys can hear us. I don't know if anybody can even hear us. It says we have quite a few viewers, but this is presented by M&M, and we're froze again. So Yeah, it's been a pretty good show, but none of these bloopers are our fault besides me forgetting to change the logo.
Yeah, it's been a fun night. Allie, I don't know if it's your Wi-Fi. Are you on Wi-Fi right now, Allie?
Yeah, I'm on complete. I have 4 bars of Wi-Fi. Full.
Yeah, I agree with Gary Jones. Technology is great when it works, but aggravating when it doesn't. I agree 100%. So that's part of being live. You have technical glitches when you go live sometimes, Allie.
Yeah, for sure. But the internet here is way better than what I have at school, so I don't know what the deal is, but I don't know.
Sounds like an issue with StreamYard maybe tonight. So,
Probably.
Allie, it's been a great show. If the internet were working a little better, I'd send a link to Bob and let him come challenge you for your co-host position tonight. But unfortunately, the internet's not been very good. Maybe we can do that in the bloopers section next week. Have a battle of the wits between Allie and Bob.
That sounds good. Speaking of next week, join us next week for episode 17 of Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe. Next Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is exactly 5 days until Allison graduates college.
That's awesome. Yeah, congratulations on that, Allie. You'll have your master's degree when you come out, so you can't beat that. So congratulations from me and all of us here at the series. But Allie, hopefully we'll have Raymond on next week. I know sometimes he's got meetings, but I'd love to have Raymond Shepard with us next week. Raymond's always a great and fun guest to have on the show. Does such a great work. He loves his track. He always posts working on the track there at Wartburg. He loves his track, loves his facility. Got a lot of great people there. So hopefully we can have Raymond on. I haven't talked to him yet. But, we'll probably just title that episode The Berg.
Yeah, that sounds great. I don't know if anybody recognized it yet, but we'll go ahead and come out and say it. But all of our episodes, we try to make them a one-word title, like the Keyholder. The something is what we try to title it. So I think next week The Berg will be a good title for episode 17.
Yes, I can't wait.
We're 17 weeks into the show.
Yeah, that means we're starting the 4th month. So you got several people here telling you congratulations. Jim Surratt, Travis's dad, Brian Davis says congratulations, and Jimmy Dale Chapman says proud of you, Allison Stedman. Allie with a Y too. Some people think your name should be spelled with an I, Allie.
I know.
So Kevin Lyle also says congratulations.
And what's funny is I'll graduate college, and then in a few hours I'll be at Wartburg Speedway.
That's right. You can't beat that.
I'll walk the stage and then run to Wartburg.
That's right. You come in your cap and gown to Wartburg.
Yeah.
Ready, throw on your official shirt and be ready to rock and roll, doing whatever I may have you doing on Wartburg night.
Yeah.
Because it could be anything.
People probably really don't believe, but I really am a do-it-all. Yeah. Like Joe just has me do whatever he needs me to do. So. No.
Gary's playing with your name.
Bo's not on here. Good.
Brian Davis says cheer for him on his iRacing. Good luck there.
That too.
There's our buddy Robert.
Awesome. We're glad to
Robert, we appreciate you. Thank you for sticking with us through all the bumps and glitches tonight. Hopefully we won't have the issues next week. Jim, she'll be here at all the AAS races, and who knows, she might stop by every once in a while otherwise too for some super races too. So she'll be here some, not all the time, but she'll be with us some, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Allie.
It's awesome.
Before we have any more glitches, should we wrap this thing up tonight?
Yeah. So join us next week on Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next episode 17, titled The Berg. And tune in, and then we'll get ready for Wartburg next Saturday.
Bob, next Monday, blooper segment.
Next Monday.
You versus Allie.
Yeah.
You're in. I volunteered you, so.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So before we have another glitch, that's the dirt for Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.